Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My track guide for the GR86 going around Laguna Seca. Let's get into it. Turn 1 is flat out, so you want to take the shortest route possible, ending up on the right side of the track for turn 2. You can open up turn 2 quite a lot if you go outside the white line. Just make sure to keep one set of wheels within the white line. I brake when I get to the 3 board here on the right. I aim for about 70% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the first curb. I aim to get as close as I can to the red anti-cut on the inside, then tracking out a little bit, bringing the car in again for the second red anti-cut. Just before I get to that, I pick up the throttle again, and then I let the car walk out to the curb on the outside to help maximize my exit speed. Now you want to bring the car over to the left side of the track. I'm all the way up on the curb. I do brake a little bit for this one. I brake a little bit when I get past this darkened part of the curb here. Nothing more than 20%, quickly easing off into a trail braking action all the way to the curb on the inside. Then I drop down a gear and go full throttle again. I try and get as close as I can to the red anti-cut on the inside without hitting it. If we hit it, it will untilt the car quite a lot. Use all of the available room here on the outside. Turn 4 is all about getting as early as we can on the throttle again. All I do is lift a little bit to help the car turn in a bit more. I lift off the throttle when the curb ends. And again, we want to get as close as we can to the red anti-cut on the inside. And preferably on the throttle again before the red anti-cut as well. There's curb on the outside of this corner. Use that to help maximize your exit speed. Then you want to bring the car over to the right side of the track for turn 5. Again, we want to be all the way up on the curb, use as much track as possible. I try and brake when I get to the 2 marker here just in front of us, and I aim for about 75% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the red anti-cut on the inside. Once I'm at that anti-cut, I will go full throttle again. We're going uphill and the corner is a bit cambered in towards us, so the car can take a bit more than you think. If you hit the red anti-cut, it will untilt the car quite a lot, so try and avoid that. And use, of course, the curb on the outside. Stay on the right side of the track for turn 6. For turn 6, we want to be all the way up on the curb again. I turn in when I get to the white line here to the right of us. All we have to do is lift off the throttle just before the curb. I go down a gear once I do that, and once at the curb, I go full throttle again. Getting this right will end you up on the outside curb using all of that. Now you want to take the shortest route possible all the way to the top of the hill. I bring the car over to the left side of the track to straighten out the braking for turn 7. That will make braking a lot easier for this corner. I brake when I get to the 3 marker here to the right, and I aim for about 70% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the inside curb. And you want to aim to cut as much curb on the inside as possible. Just be aware that the corkscrew can be a bit of a pain. And I know when I've made the corkscrew, when I have this tree in the middle of the car, that will make sure I won't get a 1x or a slowdown going down the corkscrew. And just after the inside curb, I'll go full throttle again if I have this tree in the middle of the car. Now you want to stay on the right side of the track because we want to make turn 9 one long sweeping motion. We don't brake here at all. All we do is lift off the throttle to get in as close as we can to the red anti-cut on the inside. Once past that anti-cut, we'll go full throttle again. Now bring the car over to the left side of the track. For turn 10, I use the 2 board here on the left as my braking marker. We don't have to brake that much. I go on to about 20% brake pressure, holding a light trail brake all the way to the curb on the inside. Once at the curb, I'll go full throttle again. And we can do that because the corner is a bit cambered, helping the car rotate. And of course use the room on the outside to keep the exit speed up. Then bring the car over to the right side of the track for the last turn. And of course again we are all the way up on the curb. I brake halfway between the 1 and the 2 board here on the right. And I aim for about 80% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the inside curb. Don't hit the anti-cut too hard, it will unsettle the car. And when at the curb on the inside, go full throttle again. This corner is all about getting a really good exit, so we want to get as early as we can on the throttle. We do have quite a lot of room on the outside we can use. All of the green AstroTurf here, you can use that without getting a 1x, so you should, just to help keep the exit speed up. And now it's a drag race down to the start finish line. And that's my lap of a 136.1. I'm sure 35s is possible here. I couldn't put it together though. If you need help with other tracks, I have a playlist for the GR86 linked down below. Hopefully you found this one useful. If you did, leave a like down below. Consider subscribing as well. And now for the uninterrupted hot laps.